Can you talk about balancing career, your growth in your profession with your involvement in extracurriculars? Because what I've found is that as I've kind of progressed through my career, I'm more selective about the different types of organizations that I join and what I'm giving time to. And you balance that with, family, a wife, or a husband, and possibly a job. And so as you gain more visibility and more responsibility within this organization, how are you able to balance that with some of the difficulties and challenges that you're dealing with at work?
Well, when I was president of Black MBAs, I was still single. Now I'm married, 2 kids. To be quite honest, it would be very, very challenging for me to be president today, as opposed to what it was, 17 or so years ago. But I am still involved in the ARC. I had to resign my board seat because I moved out of that jurisdiction. So it's about prioritizing what organization that you're most passionate about, becoming a part of, and what's going to help you grow and develop your skills, whether it's leadership skills, your engagement skills. So I had to make a choice because I think Charmaine and I were on a number of different boards and advisory committees together. Even after I finished my term as Black MBA president, I had to pretty much resign from certain boards and focus on maybe just having 1 or 2. And this organization has been totally incredible. I've met so many people. I was even in the offices of CEOs at Coca-Cola and even internationally as a result of being NBA president. I've met so many people from Jesse Jackson hosting meetings with him and many others. And then that would have happened. Even when Bill Campbell left office during my term, we co-presided with Frank Gill of his going reception. And I only say that to say that you never know who you're going to meet, how it's going to help you later on in life. And what I always try to tell people, everybody's not going to meet the same folks, but we all know someone. And just use that to be able to give back. So yes, so balance, Justin, it all depends on where you are in your life, in my opinion.
And you should be intentional. When I took the role, we won't let Charmaine. What have you done? You've been doing good. She's been doing good. I'm proud of her. When I took the role with NHQ, I resigned from all boards that I sat on. And I reintroduced myself to myself, is what I called it. I used it as an opportunity to be introspective. And I did a pros and cons list of what was important to me. And at the time, though, what I will say is prior to that, there was no balance, hence divorce, no children, all that stuff. So it is very important that you're very intentional and recognizing what you want out of your involvement and working towards that. But your family is first, and learning how to say no. No is a complete sentence. And I had to learn all of those things. It's a complete sentence.
The other thing too is I think we have to realize too that life is ebbs and flows. And so if you say, like, how many people are Greek? Any fraternity, sorority? Okay, so I'm going to admit that I hadn't paid my dues to the frat for many a year, but they can't take the fraternity from me. So they cannot unpledge me, right? So I think you have to think of organizational involvement the same way. You may be more involved in one organization now, but it doesn't mean you can't go back to that organization later when there's another opportune time. You may, choose to inject yourself into a situation just because they need your support, and then it's for a season and not for the lifetime. So I think if you look at it as ebbs and flows, then you can do a better job of balance as well.
And I was going to say that I really struggle with the whole balance. That's what Deanna said that. I love doing the things that I do, and therefore it doesn't seem like work to me. I think you have to be passionate about the thing. And so what I love about National Black MBA is it's so comprehensive. If you want to do entrepreneurial, if you want to do high school students with LOT, if you want to do professional development, it's so many places where you can fit in. What you have to decide is where you fit in. When the opportunity came to be president, I was actually on a trajectory to be president of another organization. And so I had to make a decision what I was going to do, and I decided to go for president of National Black MBA. And And when I did become president, I didn't get off of all my boards, but I did step down from any officer positions. Because I think when you're in that officer position, it requires so much more. And I knew I didn't have that. I had to really focus my energy on National Black MBA, but still stay involved. The other thing that's a little different for me is I am in corporate philanthropy, so part of my job is to serve on boards. But I made sure that I was able to separate what was work and make sure I did that, and then what were the things that were my passion, and that I didn't overextend myself. So again, I think when you're having fun, you're passionate about it, and you figure out where your lane is, to Deanna's point, then I think you can figure out balance in a point in time. I don't think that there's really balance.
Last question.
Hi, my name is Nakia Mattis, and I just had a quick question. Yes, I came out from the dead, 2 children. Came out from being under 2 children and being married. And I have my husband here with me. So my question is this: in terms of succession planning within the organization, does the Black MBA have a strategic succession plan in place for those people to help groom people who are interested in pursuing leadership opportunities?
Yes, so it's real clear. You gotta be succinct and compelling. You're gonna be voluntold. They're gonna tell you, so when you're on the board, really, yeah, the answer is yes. So basically, in terms of serving as a director's role and then moving into a vice president role, you actually have to be elected in order to serve. And then you get really some on-the-job training, because as an officer, you get a chance to, oftentimes the president can't attend, and you go to a lot of events where you speak on behalf of the chapter. And then when you're a vice president, you have an organization underneath you that requires you to coach and develop others, manage the budget, lead without authority, be accountable. Even though you're not at the event, but someone's on your upline, they put on a program, being accountable, being able to accept that, self-awareness, having the ability to negotiate and influence. Because when you're in a board meeting, you may have an initiative, and 11 out of the 15 are saying no when you first walk in the door, and having to get them over the line helps you along the way. And so we basically outline that and develop that for our directors and our vice presidents to get them in position, potentially be available for a president, but more importantly, demonstrate the capacity and the capability to lead when in a vice president role.
And I was going to say, the officers really look at the board members and see who is really rising to the top, who maybe we can give some additional responsibility. And Eric teases about the voluntold, but honestly, and I think CJ said no one else, Eric has someone that ran against him. This is an elected position. I had someone that ran against me.
I was like CJ, I had about 5.
Right, yeah, so we didn't just, we weren't, just, what is it, the sole person, right, that was running. We did, it is an elected position, and there are always people that think that, that they are just as qualified as you are, and they might be. But we really do look around the organization and try and figure out who is the best person that we really want to support. We want to make sure they have everything that they need to lead this organization. I mean, you see us all on the stage. There are others that don't live in Atlanta, but if they were here, Janet and others that would be, Wilma, that would be right here because we care about this organization. And we all continue to stay involved. And so we want to make sure that that next president and the officers as well and the board, that they continue to represent Atlanta well. We are still the largest organization, the largest chapter, I think. Last time I heard, we are the largest chapter in the organization. Our national president is here.
CEO is here.
Yes. So we want to make sure that we continue to lead, being the leading chapter as we have been. And we're committed to that.
Well, I want to thank the panelists for all being here and giving great information about the National Black MBA Association Atlanta chapter. Thank you all.